This album sort of naturally followed on, I think, from our last album, which was released during the global pandemic. Therefore, when we started putting the material together, we all had that kind of post-lockdown sense of optimism and a desire to really move forward, and we had a lot of energy that came from just being back together and playing and out touring and stuff. So yeah, hopefully that all ended up going into this record. When I first started writing the very beginnings of these songs, it was still the tail end of lockdown. I was back home in Lochaber, and I think that really contributes to what lyrically quite often is a sense of reflection and kind of stillness, which I was experiencing at the time. So although musically it's really energetic and forward-looking and optimistic, there's definitely moments of reflection throughout, and I think that probably comes from the time and the community and the landscape in which it was written. I think the process for writing and recording this album was slightly different in that when we started looking at the new songs, we were recording remotely and sending wee bits to each other, and the tracks sort of formed demos, and it was a kind of later point that we got together and recorded up in the Old Baptist Church in Benesson on the Isle of Mull, which was just the perfect place for the songs to then develop, inspired really by where we were and just that extra sense of time that we had, an ability to kind of focus on what we were doing that you don't always get when you're recording in somewhere like Glasgow or elsewhere. So we filled the room in the church with all our own equipment, and it just allowed us to spend as much time as we wanted to really developing the songs. There was no clock ticking. It wasn't, that part of the potentially stressful part of it was just taken right out of it, because we could just sit for as long as we liked and take the tracks down whatever route we wanted to take them down. And I think that really helped us just explore various ideas and get each song to a place where we were really happy with it. We wanted the title of the record to reflect everything about the record and where and how it was recorded. And so An Ocean Full of Islands, which is a line from the first track, is very much like in a literal sense what we look out on from the church in Mull that it was recorded. Quite literally seeing an ocean full of islands. But of course, it's also obviously as a title got a lot of figurative connotations, which I think probably become apparent lyrically throughout the album. Our first two albums, the cover art in both cases was done by Scottish artists, and so for this, our third album, we were really keen that would be the case again, and also to find a piece that would really encompass everything that we felt was in the album. So with this in mind, we approached an artist called Jane Hunter, who was based in Paisley but now lives in Butte, and we felt right away that her art was a real perfect fit for the album, because she's inspired also by an experience and relationship with the natural world, but especially the west coast of Scotland. And so we felt right away that she could give us something that was really going to relate to the words and the music that's in the album, and that really proved to be the case. So I hope you all enjoy An Ocean Full of Islands, and we can't wait till you all hear it and we get to get out there and play it to you live.